right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Explorers, 1985. Giving it 1 out of 5 stars. I hated this flick. It's Goonies in a garbage can spaceship. Goonies came out the same year. Explorers is a 1985 U.S. science fantasy film written by Eric Loop, directed by Joe Dante. Oh, I forgot to put his name in the description. Joe Dante. The film stars Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix, both in their film debuts, and Jason Presson as teenage boys who build a spacecraft to explore outer space. You build it from a junkyard, and it looks junky. The special effects were produced by Industrial Light and Magic, with makeup effects by Rob Bottin. Rushed into production, the film was never properly finished. Dante revealed that the studio demanded that he stop editing and rush for a July release, where it was overshadowed by the Live Aid concert, which was held one day after the film's release, and stiff competition from Back to the Future, which opened 9 days prior. It was a box office failure upon its release, but it attracted a cult following with its VHS release. Okay. You don't need a driver's license to reach the stars. The adventure begins in your own backyard. That's what the movie poster says. I'll show you the discs. If I can get them in order. Here we go. Explorers. Not much going on there. It's got a couple of deleted scenes in the bonus features. I think that's it. This disc doesn't have any bonus features at all. Godfrey Ho. We love Godfrey Ho on this channel. If I pull out the right disc. Robo Vampire. Godfrey Ho. It's a little more interesting, but the pictures are kind of small. And the last one, the lady vanishes. All right, there's my show and tell. Haven't been sleeping much. I've been taking lots of short naps, though. But it makes me groggy when I'm doing my overnight shift. Anyways, Ben Crendall is a young teenage boy living in a fictional Maryland suburb who experiences vivid dreams about flying through clouds and over a vast city-like circuit board. Usually after falling asleep watching old sci-fi films. The War of the Worlds is his favorite. He likes This Island Earth and Came from Outer Space. I thought this was going to be a cool kid, but he turned out to be a dork. Upon waking from the dream, he draws a diagram of a circuit board and he shows the sketches to his friend, child prodigy Wolfgang Muller, played by River Phoenix. At middle school, Ben develops a crush on Lori Swenson, a little blondie teenage girl, but he is unsure whether it's mutual. The boys also befriend punkish but likable Darren Woods. Punkish, really? With whom they share their circuit board concepts. Wolfgang builds an actual microchip based on Ben's drawings. The chip enables the generation of an electromagnetic bubble which surrounds a predetermined area. Oh, it's like Flubber. The boys discover that the bubble is capable of moving at near limitless distances and speeds without ill effects from inertia. They construct a rudimentary spacecraft out of an abandoned tilt-a-whirl car, and they name it Thunder Road after Bruce Springsteen's song of the same name. Actually, Darren Woods names the spacecraft. Okay, so budget of 20 million to $25 million budget. Box office $9.9 million. It's a pretty sizable loss. But I guess they recouped it when they sold the VHS. All right. After Ben receives more dreams about the circuit board, Wolfgang discovers a means of producing unlimited sustainable oxygen. This means longer flights, whereas previously they were limited to whatever a typical oxygen tank could hold. At first they're wearing oxygen masks, but then they take them off. They finalize their plan to explore the galaxy in search of alien life. The boys complete liftoff, despite interference from the authorities, one who silently wishes them well. Oh, that's Dick Miller. Shortly after breaking Earth's orbit, something overrides the boys' personal computer controls. The Thunder Road is beamed light years away into deep space and is tractor beamed aboard a much larger spaceship. The boys venture out to meet their captors, Whack and Neek, two ridiculous-looking aliens whose knowledge of Earth comes almost entirely from pop culture, particularly television reruns. The young explorers hit it off with their extraterrestrial host. But then the alien ship is suddenly intercepted by a larger still alien vessel. Whack urges the boys to leave. They are in the process of doing so when they're interrupted by a gigantic extraterrestrial who admonishes the Whack and Neek. It is revealed that Whack and Neek are brother and sister, and the gigantic creature is their father. They've taken his ship out for a joyride, sending the dreams to the boys in the hopes of meeting humans. Transmissions of old movies have kept the extraterrestrial populace at a distance, except for the curious Whack and Neek due to the way humans depict violence toward alien life. Whack and Neek's father allows the Thunder Roll and its crew to depart. After Whack and Neek give the boys a parting gift, an amulet, which, according to the extraterrestrials, is the stuff dreams are made of. All right, I'm going to go flip over my son's chicken breast. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The boys make it safely back to Earth, but a malfunction results in them crashing the Thunder Roll into their neighborhood lake. A week later, Ben has a dream at school in which he envisions another vast circuit board while flying through more clouds overhead. This time, thanks to Whack and Neek's amulet, Ben is joined in the dream by Wolfgang, Darren, and Lori. A rumor persists that the script for Explorers had been circulating Hollywood offices for years before it was made, and that was bought by the studio because a scene of children flying through the sky on bicycles appealed to Steven Spielberg for his film E.T. the Extraterrestrial. The film, originally to be directed by Wolfgang Peterson, having initially impressed Paramount executives with his family-targeted The Never-Ending Story, which is a great movie. Peterson wanted to film it in his native Germany. The studio decided to settle in the States with an American U.S. director. Peterson was not long after commissioned by 20th Century Fox to take over the production of Enemy Mine. The funny thing about it is that when I first was given the script, I was coming off Gremlins, and at a rare point in my career, I was like, hey, let's get this guy, said Dante during Q&A and screening of the film in 2008. Dante liked what he read, but did not feel that there was a third act at the end when the kids went to the planet, they go and play baseball. That was the plot. It seemed that wasn't quite enough. While discussing the script with Paramount executives, they said, we can work on it while we were making the picture. Dante and the writer Eric Luke were improvising what they were going to do while the film was being made. All right. Explorers was released on July 12th, 1985 on 1,750 theaters, which turned out to be the same weekend as when the Live Aid concert was being broadcast. Back to the Future had also opened the previous week on July 3rd, Wednesday, and dominated the summer. Explorers suffered badly its opening weekend and afterwards quickly disappeared. By the end of its run in theaters, it earned $9.873044 million. When the Los Angeles Times compared the film with other commercial failures that summer, a Paramount executive responded, here was a wonderful piece of material, but by the time it came out, you felt as though you'd already seen it. Many of the international markets released the film later in December of the same year. Over time, Explorers gained a cult following among fans of Dante's work, as well as science fiction fans and those who feel it is an overall family-friendly film. Oh, family-friendly. PG. Dante reflected on the film by saying that he is appreciative of the warm reception has earned over the years, but continued by saying, the problem is for me that the movie you'll see is not the movie I wanted to make. Oh, is that why it's so bad? It's the movie I got to make up to a certain point and then had to stop. It's hard for me to look at it because it's not the film I quite had in mind. The missing and cut scenes are presumably lost as Dante tried searching for them in recent years. Some of the home video releases would slightly recut to remove two scenes where Wolfgang has to encounter Steve Jackson and his gang of bullies. A brief bit where the boys chase the tilt-a-whirl ride after they push it up a hill. I saw those two scenes in the bonus features. These two scenes were reinstated when it was added to Netflix. A brief sequence at the end when Ben daydreams about the Thunder Road restored, and the classroom was also added in some of the home video releases. All right. Hey, Karate Man's in the chat room. All right. He's going through his recommendations that he may or may not have. Karate Man says Wolfgang Peterson was directed Air Force One. All right. Indiana Jones. Start with that one. I've got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in my Netflix queue. I've also got Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't have the rated PG 1992, The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones television show. Air Force One. Air Force One is in my safe queue. It's unavailable. Patriot Games. Is also unavailable. I can save it on my Netflix queue. So, to answer your question, yes, you did recommend Indiana Jones movies. You didn't recommend the TV show, so I didn't add it. Air Force One, I added to my safe queue because it was unavailable, and I'm going to add Patriot Games now to my saved queue because that one is also unavailable. And I don't know when Netflix will make those Harrison Ford movies available. All right. So, better get busy with my Netflix queue. Start deleting some more movies so that I can add Patriot Games. All right. That's the end of my review. Nice chatting with you, Karate Man. Later.